So welcome to Live with Prima. This is the Magical Mermaid class, and we're going to use the brand new Seashore collection. Let me just grab today's layout. When I saw this collection, I just thought it is so beautiful for beach photos, and of course that's what I use. That's my little granddaughter, Amariah. We were down in Florida last August, and we found this little island secluded. You could only get to it by pontoon boat. And it was gorgeous, and nobody was there except us, and it was just beautiful. The water was turquoise, the sand was white, and I just thought I had to scrap this photo of her. She doesn't pose for many, but I got one decent photo from the day. And then we came out with these new wood dolls, and I might just zoom that in for you. Whoops, wrong direction. That is one of our Julie Nutting wood dolls, and they are so fun to play with. And the price, I couldn't believe how cheap they were, so you need to find this one. And I just glammed her up a little bit. I told Carrie I actually thought, you know, Carrie probably has a swimsuit like this. So when I was doing the mermaid, I thought of Carrie. So that's my little Carrie mermaid next to Amariah. Carrie just got back from Florida, so we have to pick on her today because she's been on vacation. All right? Oh, so let me get into the announcements, okay? Shanna just reminded me, we have a Prima design team call, and it's only open for a couple weeks. There is information on Facebook and our Prima blog, and let me see if Carrie doesn't type in. I can add the Prima blog real quick. So you just got to scroll down and find the design team call. And we try to keep it simple for you and easy to apply. So go ahead and find it and put your application in before you forget. Okay, other announcements. Do you guys know what Saturday is? Anybody know what Saturday is? Saturday is National Scrapbooking Day. So Saturday, May 3rd. We are going to celebrate with an international blog hop, and we are bringing 3 teams together for this, so that's going to be really cool. We also have Live with Prima all day long. So 6 really fun classes. Everybody's just doing something really fun and exciting for Saturday. I did a project I normally don't do for a Live with Prima project, and I have to start the day off because I'm on Eastern time. So they're going to start at 7 a.m. Pacific time, and that converts to 10 a.m. my time, so I'm not too early with that. And there are going to be 6 fabulous classes throughout the day with they're short classes. You can come in. We're going to have a lot of fun. There'll be different mods coming in and helping. People are going to jump in, and you'll get a break in between each one. And they're going to go all day long, right, Carrie? So that poor girl's going to be working all day. They're free. So you know what? Grab your friends. If you're at a crop, everybody has Wi-Fi now, so tune into one of the shows because it'd be really fun. The same day we have a blog hop on our blog with 3 teams, which I think I already mentioned, didn't I? We're going to do 6x6 layouts, and they're going to have inspirational quotes on them. And I'm just going to give you a peek of each one and then send you off on the blog hop, and we are going to have prizes for that. So that's going to be really fun, and that starts at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Live with Prima starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We also have registration for Art Venture Anaheim open. It's open already, and that really got full last year, so you're going to want to jump on board with that right away. I know there are going to be 6 teachers. They've announced 4 of them already. Denny has all the details if you want to go to that. It is right before CHA, so it's perfect to combine the 2, and you're going to have a lot of fun. They used the brand new collections last year before anybody else got them, so you definitely want to check that out. Okay, last announcement. Carrie is back, and we're putting her to work, so she will be on Live with Prima Thursday night. 6:30 Pacific time, and she is going to do a layout with the other brand new line from mid-release, Time Traveler. So she will be bringing color bloom sprays and metals and all kinds of fun things. That is a really fun line too, and it's selling really well. That and Seashore been really good for us. All right, so any questions? Is it Kentucky Derby Day on Saturday? I should know that. Okay, that's where I live now. Oh well, we gotta squeeze a lot in on National Scrapbooking Day. Okay, well I'm gonna scroll down here and put the camera back on the layout. Can everyone see that okay? Alright, I don't want to get too far off, so I'm bending over the whole show. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just jump in with the layout, and we're going to start with the art medium so they have some time to dry. Okay? And you know, I love to do mixed media and I love to do scrapbooking, and I like to mix the two. So that's kind of what I did on this layout. And you don't need to be afraid. The techniques and products I used are really easy. You could leave some off if you want, if you don't want to do it, but you're going to have fun with this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with the seashore paper, and this one is called Under the Sea. Now, isn't that cute? Because the Little Mermaid is out, and that's one of the songs, and I used a mermaid on it. I like just am so coordinated, and I didn't even plan that. So, Under the Sea, and it's 813635. And what we are going to do is grab some gesso, and this is by Ranger. And I just like it. And we are going to, I don't think I need that right now, but we definitely need the Seashore Cling stamp set. Isn't that cool? And that is 573140. Carrie's going to have to holler if I'm going too fast, but normally I talk too much and then I have to rush at the end, so I'm like really trying to be on task today. So, I'm going to be a good girl. We're going to use those two stamps with gesso. And you know what? You can stamp with gesso. I had some people ask me. It's not as clear, of course, as ink is, but it makes it look really cool. So what we're trying to do is create a beachy look. And we're going to go up diagonally like this. So we're going to concentrate this area and this area because the photo goes here, of course. So what we're going to do is just take a bit of the gesso and like spread it on the mat here, and then we're just going to start stamping with it. And what I did, you could take a brush and brush it on, but I just think it takes too much time. We're just going to be, now see how cool that is? It doesn't have to be perfect, right? We're just going to get a lot of the gesso on. So go ahead and stamp randomly up your page with both stamps. So that's what I'm doing right now. Whoops. And again, you definitely could use okay, I lost the word. Stamp block. Okay, I had a block and could not think of it. And that would probably keep your hands cleaner. But, okay, my gesso is drying out already. That's good. Alright, so I'm done with that one. And what I do is I do clean my stamps right away when I use gesso because, oh look, I got some up here, which, no big deal. You don't want it to dry on there, okay? So I'm going to just get that cleaned off the best I can right now. And you know, sometimes when I'm teaching, or if you're not, this is a good tip for you too, if you don't have access to water, just wrap that or set it on something wet and it will keep it moist enough until you can get to water. We'll put a little bit more gesso out right now, and we're going to take this longer stamp and we're going to just repeat what we just did. We're filling this in with just the white gesso. And this kind of makes a seaweed look. But we're going to add so many layers, we do lose a bit of the stamping. But that's the fun thing with mixed media, is adding all those layers in. So again, I'm just going up the diagonal right here and making sure I get all the way up so I have some really fun white texture all the way across the page. You know, I didn't even do it down here. Let's fill that in a bit. Just flip your stamp in different directions to make sure it doesn't look really patterned. It looks random. Any questions on this? Oh, I got a really big glob right there. So we'll just re-stamp that. Okay, let me just wipe that one off. All right, I know I'm going off camera a little bit because I put my gesso right in the middle. Yeah, this really makes your stamps messy, so you're going to want to wipe them off really good. Any questions on that? Look how fun that looks already. I mean, it looks really beachy and cool just with gesso. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to put some gesso out again. Let's get that. You don't want dried clumps, although that would look like dried up seaweed, wouldn't it? And what we're going to do now is pull out the color bloom sprays. And I used gold foil, antique gold, and worn leather. And what I'm going to do is color the gesso and go from light to dark and sponge it on the page. Now when I get my color bloom sprays out, I always open them up. I always tap, just in case there's a little bit of sediment settled in there. I just tap that real quickly. Shake it up. And then what I'm going to do is just spray a little bit on my mat. Okay, there we go. We're going to mix this in. Now it will be a little bit watery. Let's do a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit more watery than regular gesso is, but what we don't care about that. We're going for the color. And for this, I'm actually just going to use a foam brush. When I did my real layout, I used a sea sponge. You know, you can buy those sponges like at Michael's and other craft stores, but I don't know where it went. But you know, any sponge will do, and even this foam brush, you can see how when I pull it up, I'm creating that airy textured look. See how fun that is? So I need to color more. Obviously did not make enough. So go ahead and just, this really could go quickly, so I might just do that. I get talking and then I slow down. Right? Okay, so just get that all over. Color your gesso as you go. It's actually really cool because every time I color, it's a little bit different. So I'm getting a lot of shades here. And now I am going off screen a bit. Sorry about that. All right, so you have the gold foil done. And now what we're going to do is move on to the antique gold. Same thing, shake it up, spray it into the gesso. Now, as I used the darker colors, I did not put as much of the gesso on the page. So more of the light and then less of as you get darker. But as you can see, I kind of wanted a round spongy effect. As you can see, each color is going to make it just look really cool. You're going to get a multi-dimensional look here. I think that's good. Do you guys like that? Okay, last one. Let me scoop out a bit more gesso. And then we're almost done with that gesso. The last color is Worn Leather. It's one of our darker colors. And I did pre-shake it and spray it before the class started because I wanted to make sure everything was working okay. And that's a really dark brown. You're just going to get lots of different shades of brown on here. And this one I probably want, I think I had too much gesso. But you make your colors the color you want, okay? And it's all going to look good. I might actually come back with a little bit more white. Once you tap it all on there, see how you like it, and then just adjust it. No big deal. I'm going to just clean this up, and I think I'm going to go over with a little bit more white so it looks more like the seashore we were on. Just a couple, oops, wrong container. That's for the last step. How you guys doing? Okay, so I'm going to spread out a little bit of white and then just go back and make sure I have some definition and contrast in there. Now, this did warp my paper a little bit because mixed media will do that to paper, but I didn't think it was too bad, and it flattened out when it dried. And if it really bothers you, just dry it and then put a big book on top. Let it sit for a couple hours. All right. So that's basically how you create the sand on the bottom, and all I did was use gesso with the color bloom sprays. And we're going to let that dry, and then once this dries, it kind of looks really messy on camera. It'll look better when you put everything on your page. So we're going to set that aside and let that dry, and we are going to color our wood now. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull out my wood ATCs, and what I did is I took, hang on just a second, they come with 3x4 and 4x6 inside. So let me go ahead, this is 572921. Just going to dump these out so you can see how many you get. There are tons in here, and they're really cute. Little envelope and let's be adventurous. That one's really cool. I love that retro look. Ride a bike. How fun is that? Dream a little. Lovely day. This is super cute to put a picture in there. And then this is the one I used. It's just called Today, and it has a really cute chevron pattern. So let me toss these aside. And all I did was spray our color bloom sprays on here. And I started with Summer Sky. And then I thought I added green, but I really did not. I added gold and antique gold to kind of give it a seashore look. And this is one I have done to kind of show you how fun it is to color. And then the one on my actual layout, you only see peaks of it, but it really adds a lot of texture to your page. So you're going to just color it. It's probably not going to look exactly the same. Every time I color, I get a different result, but it's always very cool looking. So get your blue on there, and then I'm going to spray in. When you add, oops, that's a lot of gold. When you add the gold, it actually turns, I'm going to tap a little bit out of there. It turns it, when it mixes, it makes green. So that's kind of cool. And then you want to add your dark color. Just, I spray off on the side, and I'm just adding dribbles. I think I need a, oop, I might have a little bit too much. Nope, it looks good. Alright, so I'm going to finish with a little bit more blue. So this is where it's fun. You just keep spraying until you like it. I think it needed that. I might just be here all day playing. Okay, what do you guys think? Seashore enough? It totally looks like a Caribbean ocean, and it's so fun. And that gold is going to add a little bit of sparkle to it. Alright, so we're going to let this, the ATC card dry. We'll set it over, and while that is drying, we are going to have fun with Miss Mermaid. So, we came out with these wood dolls. I'm rummaging in my box. We came out with the wood dolls, and we have a bunch of different varieties, and I wanted to show you those. They are so cool. So this is the mermaid, and she is 910655. And I really think her name's Ashley. Is that correct, Carrie? I don't know why I think that's her name. I could be wrong. But how cute. She comes with seashells and a little crown. Okay, and I'm going to flip through some of these others really quickly so I don't waste too much time doing this because I get talking about how fun these are. There's one with a dress and a purse. Isn't that cute? This one has a little pennant banner and a drawstring purse. And this chick is out having fun with her kite. Isn't that cute? If you have a tomboy for a girl, I just think this one's so cute. And then we go from one extreme to the other. I think they named this one Carrie. No, I'm kidding. Prima never names anything after Carrie and I. But actually Julie Nutting names it. So I'm not sure what her name is, but it probably should be Sharon, right? And this one is 910617. I sure hope these numbers are all right. Okay, so you got to get the wood dolls by Julie Nutting. They're the mid-release, and they are so fun. Okay, do not tell Prima I said that. Okay. So let's go ahead and open her up. And you know what? This one's selling out everywhere. When I tried to find it yesterday online, it was sold out everywhere I checked. So Carrie and I were hunting this morning so we could try and find it for you. Because you need to get it, right? So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to spray some of the seashells. I think I just used a couple of them. I didn't use all of them. I'm not going to use the crown, so I'm going to save that for something else. And let's see. What color did I use? The mermaid we're going to paint by hand because you want to stay in the lines. But these we can just spray and let them dry. And I think they were gold, so let's move mermaid chick out of the way. And if, you know, whenever you spray, if you do not like how dark it is, go ahead and dab in real quickly. And I just like it gold. You can do multiple layers. You can add some splatters on there if you want, but I'm going to leave those plain and then bring Miss Mermaid back. Okay, now I hope I can remember what I did with her. So, I know, oops, I have it on my finger. We're going to start with Summer Sky. And I'm just going to spray a tiny little bit right there. I'm going to get a really fine paintbrush. Just one with a thin end is good. And then we are going to just start painting her, what do you call it? It's not her legs because she doesn't have them, they're joined. I'm going to paint the bottom. And I did get my finger on there and it has a little gold spot. But it's okay. What a little tip is when you are painting, don't go all the way to the line because the wood does kind of bleed a bit. Whenever you put color on wood, it's going to do that. So just paint up to the line and then see how far it draws over. I learned this, you know, trial and error. I hate going outside the lines, but it did that with my first one. Alright, so I think it's a little too blue, so I'm going to put a touch of gold over here. And I'm going to go back and kind of mix these two. I don't really want it green, but I do want a touch of gold to kind of make it more aquamarine and less summer sky. Does that make sense? Okay, I think I like that. And you need her to have a little bit of gold because she's glistening in that water. All right? Any questions on that? So just spray your color blooms on a mat and then mix them to get the color you like. Okay, I need that gold now, so I'm going to just wash my brush out. Because what I did is I watered it down for her skin. So this is kind of cool. You can make her skin any color you want. And again, the more water you use, the more you need to be careful so you don't go outside the line. So I'm just going to lightly color her in here so she's not as pasty white as I am right now. Instant spray tan, that's what we're doing. And this is just with gold foil, so she's going to have a real healthy color. Okay, she almost looks too light to me. Like she needs a little bit more sun. We'll put a little bit on her face. And you know, you can shade. If you're really artistic, you're going to love doing these because you can shade them and all kinds of fun things. Okay, so that's it with the color blooms. And now I'm going to do her hair. If I can find, there it is. So, any questions so far? Okay, so to do her hair, I wanted a different brown, and I just thought it would be really cool to show you how you can color with our chalk inks too. Now this is one of the brand new metallic edger sets, and the number is 891954. And I took out the metallic gold, and what I'm going to do is just stamp it on my mat. And this little trick, I have used this so much, and I learned it from Carrie, so I'm going to give her credit because I'm nice like that. But you can paint with the chalk edgers, and it just opens up a whole new way to use them. And my goal was just to get it a little bit darker than her skin. I think I actually had it darker than that. So just dilute with water as you need. And just have fun. Go ahead and paint in her hair. You know, I think she might have a headband. I can't tell upside down. Does that look like a headband? You could totally add one if you wanted to. And then just with the fine tip brush, it's so easy to get in there and add this color where you want it. Isn't this fun? You seriously can't go wrong. I mean, I did kind of go outside my lines my first time, and you guys never said anything. I was showing it, and it looks fine. It's okay. So we're going to go in and just grab a couple bangs with the darker color. Alright. I think that's what I did. Yeah, she does have a headband, and I just painted over it. You know what? Maybe I'll just try to go in and add a little blue to it. Because I have a headband in my other one. I thought there was one. It's right here. We'll just make it match her swimsuit. Okay. How easy is that? Look at that. We're not done though, because we are going to go in and add a little glitz to her outfit because she is a mermaid. So, anybody else loves sequins like me? Oh my gosh. If I walk into Hobby Lobby, I walk out with 10 bags of sequins. And my husband's like, what are you going to use all those for? So I have to use them, right? So that's what I'm doing. See, I used them on my class. Anyway, everybody needs a little gold glitz on their swimsuit. So what I'm going to do is show you how I put them on. I bet you guys have a better idea, but this is kind of what I do now with the little tiny sequins. I put the glue on my mat, and then I drag my sequins into them and then attach. And you know what, I might not do the whole doll because it did take me like 10 minutes to do her fins. So I'll do just parts of it for sure. So grab your sequin, and mine are cups, so I'm using the bottom of the cup. And you're just going to start gluing it on. I like accented her waistline. She's really tiny. It's kind of disgusting. It's like a Barbie mermaid. And you know what? If they don't fit perfectly, squeeze them together. And I know sequins can be messy and a bit of a pain sometimes, but they're so worth it. They're so cute once you get it done. So I did like 6 on her waist. Let me make sure they're up there okay. Kind of like that. Does that show okay? And then I did her little bikini top. Itsy bitsy bikini is right. And I feel like my hands are huge when I'm doing stuff like this, but it all seemed to work out in the end. So, I know some people put their sequins on with a little pick, and that would be really cool too. Whoops. Now my glue is starting to get dried, so I'm going to squeeze out some more in a second. I don't even know how I did that last time. I got to take a little peek at my girl. I used 5. So what I did is I did 2 on each side and then just added 1 more in the middle. And then her bikini top is done. We just want to make sure, yeah, I got one of those strings. We want to make sure it looks good. So you can, the nice thing with this glue is you can kind of squish it and move it around because it stays pliable. So we got her top dazzling and her waist is dazzling. How are we doing on time? Because I'm not sure I want to take the whole time to do the fins. You guys are going to have to let me know. Let's see how fast I can. I just start at a point and then I work my way across, or down actually, and I did 1 fin at a time. And you know, if your hands start to get sticky, wash them off and start over, because you do not want to mess it all up because you had glue all over your fingers. Yeah, the pickup tool, that's what you need. I need to get one of those. But yeah, whatever you guys have to make this easier would be so cool, but I need to go look because I'm so into sequins. I need to find some easier way to put these on my projects. So while I'm doing this, I have a little story, and I think I might have shared this with another Live with Prima class. I can't remember, to tell you the truth, but I bought like thousands of these gold sequins for my classes in Paris, and I had them in a baggie, kind of like they're in now. It might have been even bigger because this is what I have left. And my granddaughter was coming over, the one that's on this layout, and I kind of like had the sequins out, and I threw them in my bedroom because I did not want her to get the bag open. And my daughter and I were talking, and all of a sudden my granddaughter comes out of the room and says, Nana, some of those sparkly things fell out of the bag. Yeah, it just fell out, you know. And my daughter looks at me and she's like, I'll clean up the mess, Mom. And I'm like, okay. And we went in my room, and I'm not kidding. She had to have stood on my bed and whipped them around because they were everywhere in my bedroom. Oh my gosh. I looked at my daughter and I said, you told me you were going to clean it up. And anyway, 4 of us cleaned it up, and it took us about 20 minutes. There were sequins. I'm still finding sequins, and this was like 6 weeks ago. So I just chuckle. They were everywhere. I mean, every time I wash the sheets, there are more that pop out. So yeah, that's the excitement in my life. We have gold sequins all over our bedroom. So the moral of the story is, don't let your kids get into the sequins. And if you do, you're just going to have a good laugh cleaning them up. Okay, I think I'm just going to do one of her fins and then stop because I don't want to bore you guys. I know, blingy bedroom is actually really exciting, right? Better than blingy lingerie. I crack up. I found more today. I'm like, that girl got them everywhere. So what I'm doing is just kind of squeezing them in so they stay inside the lines. And you can see how fun that is? Okay, I'm going to stop and not do the other fin just because you guys know how to do this now. And you've been warned not to swing your bags of sequins around in your bedroom. So I think we're good, and I will finish that later because we want to get moving. Okay. So I'm hoping everything dried. We're going to start pulling all of our elements together now, and we're going to start putting the layout together. So I'm hoping. Yep, our paper's dry. Our ATC card is almost dry. By the way, I have tons of fun with my granddaughter. We do lots of crafts together, and she loves the Julie Nutting and the Jamie Doherty stamps. And you know those ATC cards I showed you? This idea was Jamie who created the stamp, but she stamps her Bloom Girl on these wood ATCs. And I'm just going to show you, we worked on some over the weekend, my little granddaughter and I. And I posted hers on Instagram today. She colored one for her mama. And it's so cute. She insisted on doing it myself. You know how 4-year-olds can be. Alright, so now I'm just going to cheat. I'm going to put, here, let's move that off screen. I just want to put this down so I start lining things up correctly, and we're going to start gluing things together. And as I add more seashore, I'll pull those products out and I'll show you. So first, just glue your wood ATC down, and I'm using Fabri-Tac because I love it. It never comes apart on me. It just always keeps everything glued together perfectly. And I would hold that down a little bit just because the wood might not be, I don't know if the wood's warped or my paper's warped right now, but from using so much wet stuff. And let me pull out some more product. We are going to add this really fun lace. And hang on just a second. I put everything in a pile so I wouldn't lose it. We also have seashore tags. The tags are 573270, and I don't have the number on the lace. Sorry, Carrie. Doesn't this look like it's perfect for seashore and beaches? Like a starfish. I love that lace. So, let's pull out some tags. We're just going to start layering and tucking stuff in. So I want to pull out this tag and maybe a cream one so we get a little bit, look how cute this one is with the little sailboat. We're going to take that tag out, and then what did I use at the top? Oh, polka dot. Definitely need a polka dot in there. And then we want to pull out one of our little tickets. I did You Are Here. No, I did You Are My Anchor. Okay. So we're going to layer some of those things. And all I do when I start creating is I set everything down first to kind of see how I like it. This could, oh, I'm glad that didn't glue all the way down because you could totally tuck the tag behind it, which is what I did. And then let's glue this one. And you know what? I know what I forgot to color. We have to color one more thing. So let me just move everything. Sorry, I forgot that. This is going to go in the cluster up here, so we'll set that aside. I forgot to show you the resins in a box. This is also a mid-release, and these are like the I call them sand dollars, but they actually have clocks on them. So they're like sundials, and they're really fun. And we need one of those for our project. And I think I sprayed it with gold, of course. And I may have added a tiny bit of antique gold, but I'm going to do that on the side and kind of dab that in just to get the kind of colors blended. And then just rub it around the edge with your paper towel from the overspray, and you'll get a really nice complete coverage on there. So that's the sand dollar, not sand dollar, whatever I said it was, sundial. I have too many S's going on. Seashore, sand stuff, sundial. So we're going to let that dry too, because that's going to go on our layout. So back to here, we're just going to go ahead and start adding stuff in. So we have a little bit of the trim that we need to cut off. And I think I used 4 of these. They're really fun. They just snip apart in 2 spots. There's one. This one has a little bit extra thread hanging. I'm going to make it all neat and tidy. That goes behind there. Whoops. Isn't this the coolest ribbon? And then we're going to want one more for the cluster up at the top. So I'm just going to set that aside. And it comes on that really cute wood spool like that. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is kind of just setting everything where they're going to go, and then once I get everything situated, I glue down then, because otherwise it seems like if I glue down, I'm not going to like it. So I want to make sure I like where everything's going. Alright, I think this is the last item we're going to add, and it's a really fun one. These are Flower Power flowers, and they have a set for Seashore that matches perfectly, but I don't have it in the fancy packaging. So what I'm going to do is dump the flowers out, and I want to make, now when you buy the Seashore one, you're going to get this beautiful blue one, but I don't have that one. So what I'm going to do is just show you what you can do. So you have all the really cute flowers, but I want this one to be more turquoise. So I'm going to just take that one and add a little bit of spray to it. And because it's already an antique yellow, it's going to turn that greenish color. And if it doesn't, you know what the little secret is put gold on top. And it works magic. So let's go ahead and get this just cleaned up. Alright, so it's really fun. It has I can't talk! There are multiple colors showing through on there. So that was the summer sky and a little bit of gold foil color bloom. And that is on the Flower Power flowers. So they do come colored to match. I just don't have that one, so I just wanted to spray it so it matched my other project really well. So we're going to put this sand dollar like right here, and I'm going to glue that baby down because that, I know where that goes, and it's going to kind of center everything else for us. This flower is still a little bit wet, so I'm just going to set it there right now. We have a couple flowers here, and our little mermaid girl. Well, I'm now getting into the point where I kind of have to put my picture on. So what I did is I printed out a 5x7, and I did desaturate it a little bit so it matched the paper, but obviously this paper matches a lot of seashore photos, so it's going to be good no matter what you do. Now I'm going to pop my photo up a little bit. I'm going to frame this layout and put it in my living room. It's one of my favorite things to show the family. So I have like 5 Prima frames in my living room, and I switch the layouts out all the time. So I am going to, I don't worry about dimension then, so I'm going to put some foam dots on there, and we're going to pop it up a bit to give the whole layout more dimension. Now if you were going to put this in your scrapbook, you'd want to pick some flowers that have a little bit less bulk, and you could put your photo on flat. You wouldn't have to add the foam adhesive to it. So let's peel these off. The one thing when I work with photos, I always hope my fingers are clean, which I know they're not. So really hoping that I don't get fingerprints on. So, you know, on my photo I have gold ink around the edge, and I just wanted to, I can't remember if I use, yeah, I just want to add the Prima gold ink on the photo real quickly. And you can also do this to your tags so it all looks really cool. So let's get the picture on here so we can glue everything else on. Okay, so she is stuck down, and I'm really sorry. Let's work your direction, and let's hope it all works out that way. Sometimes when you're scrapbooking upside down, you flip it back around, it looks really weird. How are you guys doing? Okay, so when I desaturated the photo, I used Photoshop, and oh, how can I explain it? There's you can select hue and saturation in one of the tools at the top, and it lets you slide the color intensity down, and that's what I did. So if you Google how do you desaturate a photo, it takes just a bit of the color out to make it softer. And there are videos on it. I don't think you'd have any problem finding out how to do it. And if I get a chance, I will put the instructions up on my blog, okay? Just really hoping I get a chance to do that. Photoshop is so cool. There are so many things to learn on it. I swear you can have it for years and still not know how to do everything. Carrie's asking me something. Okay. So it's one of those things you really got to have someone walk you through the first time. Well, at least I did. Thank you. Someone's posting that there's a lot of free Photoshop tutorials, and that's exactly what I did. I just did a search on it and looked up how to do it. So we're adding fun little pieces in, and I know I want 2 leaves, and when I glue my leaves, I just put glue down in the little tips and I tuck them in underneath. So let's go this way a little bit. Now the mermaid doll is going to slide in here. Oh, I shouldn't have glued that one down. It's going to slide in here like this. So I think what I want to do is go ahead and glue her now, because we're ready for her, and then we'll tuck the rest of the pieces around her. Okay, so let's go. Before I touch it down on the photo, I want to make sure I'm spacing it correctly. How does that look? This little flower has to go in here. So let's put it right there. I think that's good. Oops. I got a sticky thing going on here with the glue. I love the fabric tack because it does let you move stuff around. So I've decided I need to pull this up a little bit. And look how cool that is. It's going to move with me because it's not totally set yet. And this one might just need a little bit more glue. We'll see. Alright, so we kind of have the bottom done. Let's move this flower just a little bit. I'm trying to make it look more natural, like they're nestled together. She's over there. I kind of hid a little bit more of her than I wanted. But just arrange it how you like it and create a cluster tucking them in there. I also have these seashells to throw in. And this one goes up at the top. I don't even see where I use this one. I love this one. We're going to put this one on this layout. I'm going to get my glue to come down. Any questions for you guys? You guys are amazing. Isn't this a fun set though? I mean, this wood set just makes the whole project look so cool. And then this one is going to be tucked in, and that's kind of the clue, is to tuck things in and kind of nestle them and layer them so they look more natural. We'll have that poking out just a little bit like that. So we have the bottom done, and what we're going to do now is kind of do a cluster up here to kind of balance. And that one is pretty simple. It just has this tag, and where did I throw the ticket? This is what happens at the end of a class. You have stuff all over your table, and then you can't find anything. We're going to put one of these on. I'm just trying to look at my sample upside down. We're going to tuck in this sweetie right here. So that's how it's going to look, and then we'll put the flowers on top. And again, you can ink all the edges. I should have done that on the tags down there. I can always go back and kind of rub it in with a little bit of foam, because I think this gold metallic edger is going to add a ton of contrast for you. So let's go ahead and start gluing this in. And you know what I did with this ticket? I added a little bit of foam to the back. So I'm going to take out the smaller ones, so the top pops up. And again, it's just a dimensional thing. It makes it look so much cooler with part of it sticking up off the page. And then put glue on the bottom. Just like that. And then we can start adding the other pieces. Okay, how does my flower go? Kind of like that. I don't like the tip of the photo showing. I just don't think it looks right, so I kind of move my ribbons around to hide that. How are you guys doing? Well, I have 4 minutes left. I feel like I'm doing great. Carrie hasn't even told me to hurry up yet. Okay, same thing with that. You want to add a little bit of dimension to the wood just on the top. So tuck in a piece of foam there, and then just put regular glue on the bottom. And we're going to tuck this baby in next. Kind of like that. Okay. Then this flower is going to go on, and some leaves. See how fast this is? Once you get all your elements picked and set aside, you don't lose them on your table like I have been doing. And then 2 more leaves. And again, glue the little tip and then tuck them in. I like to put the leaves on last. I kind of fill in where there might be a gap or an awkward spot, like right there. He does not want to stay put. Stay where your mama put you. Okay, so basically the layout is done. We're going to add a couple little touches now to make it extra special. So let me find our seashore Satin crystals, and these are so cool. How fun are those? Now I've already used some, but they are 573201. We're going to put those on. We're going to add a little bit of Inca Gold. I have a mess all over my table. So we're going to add sparkles and more sparkles and even more sparkles. So those are the last 3 steps to do, and they go really, really quickly. So let me just take a minute or 2 to do each one, okay? Just want to check in and see if there are any questions before I do that. You guys doing good so far? Okay, I hope I'm not going too fast. So let's start with the Inca Gold. And this is a metallic rub. It's by Viva, and it has a beeswax in it. And once you apply it, it is permanent. And all I'm going to do is take a little bit of sponge. I love the Ranger cut foam for this, and this has been well loved, as you can tell. Just get a bit on your sponge, and what we're going to do is dab it on the I can't even talk. The sand. So we're going to add just little gold accents here and there. And it's also really beautiful to run up the side of a layout like that. I hope the camera can catch the glimmer it adds. So don't be afraid. You can put it on anything. Mine is getting a little dried out. You know, I taught with it in Germany. No, in France. And I think it was left open too long. But basically, dab it along wherever you want a little bit of gold sparkle. Run it along the edge of your paper. And you're going to have just really subtle shimmer all over. Let me just knock off the extra. I had a little bit left on my sponge, and it got on my photo. So that's kind of what you're going to do with the Inca Gold. And it's really, really cool on, I have used this on so many different textures. It's beautiful on wood. It's really, really, really cute on resins. So if you wanted to put a little bit of sparkle on this sundial, just catch the raised pieces. And this is what I do at the end of when I think I'm done with my layout. I go back and I put all these little touches on, and I never glued that piece down. And nobody told me. I never got a text from Carrie. Carrie. And you find the pieces you didn't glue down when you're rummaging around under there. Okay, no big deal. We'll just stick her in. So I really think it's these extra touches that really bring your layout above and beyond. And since this one's going to be displayed, the little extra sparkly effects with this and the pearls and the glass bead gel are really going to catch people's attention. Okay, so any questions on the Inca Gold? You know, if you live in the States, mine was on clearance at Hobby Lobby. So just a little tip if you're in the States. If you're not in the States, they have Inca Gold because it's from Germany and it's by Viva and it's wonderful. It does get moldy. I know that sounds gross, but sometimes it'll get a little bit of mold inside. I store mine upside down like this. You can try other tips. I've heard that a lot of people have an issue with that. Okay, glass bead gel. This is by Golden. It just looks like a mess in there, but guess what? We're going to take just any brush and grab a bit of it like this. And what we're going to do is like dab it on, pouncing your brush. And you are going to create some higher sections than others. Can you see that? And what I'm doing is creating the foam from the water that you get from an ocean. You know that foamy look from the water? And the reason I do this at the end and not when I'm doing everything else is because it does take a really long time to dry. So once I get to this step, I usually let my layout sit overnight. And kind of just look at your layout, catch the light, see if it looks natural enough, if you got enough on there. You don't want to overdo it, Sharon, so put the brush away. I love it. Okay, I'm going to put the brush away. And again, that's glass bead gel. And it dries totally clear, except for the glass beads. So here's the original. And I know it's hard to catch on camera, but when this is on display in your house, the light's going to catch those little glass beads. And you are going to have just a really beautiful shimmer on your layout. And I saw someone say you can thin it down with water and use it as a paint, and that's totally cool too. My goal was to kind of create a little bit of texture to create those wavy looks. And the last thing you want to do is add your satin crystals. So we're just going to sprinkle those in. And I like to kind of keep stuff like this in a triangle. So I know I want some up here. So I'm going to put some there and there. And I think clusters of maybe 3 would look really good. And I know my glass bead gel is kind of wet, so I'm trying to work around it. If Carrie asked a really good question, and I think I lost my gem when I was doing that. She asked, if you can't find glass bead gel, what else could you use? Let me think. You could totally add really tiny glass beads yourself that you can buy, or a glass glitter that's chunkier. And what I would do is put like a gel medium down that would dry clear and sprinkle the glass beads on, or the chunky glitter, just in spots. So does that make sense? Put something down that's clear and wet that would grab the glitter or the glass bead gels and hold it in one spot. And that's what I would do if I couldn't find the glass bead gel. So let me go ahead and get these on. So we have a set of 3 here, and then we're going to add 3 more up here. And I'm trying to avoid my glass bead gel because it is really wet. So, you know, normally you'd be putting these on when it's all dry, and you wouldn't have to deal with that. So there's another little cluster here, cluster there, and we're going to go up and finish up here. And I think I'm going to stick one over on this side and then 2 over here, and it will keep your eye kind of going across the page like that. And these are really fun. They're like a sugary matte crystal that, and I have paint on mine because I was using it on this. But it's just a really fun new look that Prima came out with their crystals. Okay, I hope I didn't miss anything. Oh, you know, I did have one more little step. And this is just, if you like a really shabby chic look, take your gesso back out, and you want a dry brush, so not one that's wet. And what I do is spread it out on my work surface first, and I'll go back in. Okay, well, maybe don't brush off too much. And you can dry brush your flowers to kind of give them that shabby chic look. It also looks like a little bit of the sea foam spray got up on your layout. So that's I think that's the last thing. I'm not going to add any more steps. So you do it to all your flowers and just put on as much as you like. Okay? And even on the leaves you could touch it up a little bit there. And I think it's these final little touches that make your layout so cool, and so many little touches that set your work apart. Alright, I will add her sequins in on the bottom of the fin, so just pretend I did that. And there we go. You know, the glass bead gel is already drying, but it, you know, the bigger the chunks are that you put on your layout, the longer it does take. Any questions? So that is the one we did today. Just pretend her flipper's all sparkly. And here is the original. And they're pretty similar. So you know, whenever I make two layouts, my daughter always gets the second one. So she loves it when I do classes and use her daughter's pictures, because then she gets an extra layout and she didn't have to make it. Okay, so let me just go over the announcements really quickly again. National Scrapbooking Day on Saturday, May 3rd. Carrie and I are heading up a ton of fun events. So you want to come in. There'll be live classes all day. They start at 7 a.m. Pacific time. And the blog hop is going to start at 6 a.m. Pacific time. And we have people from all over the world joining in. We're going to have some prizes on the blog hop and maybe some of our other social media. What else was I supposed to do? Art Venture Anaheim. You need to go check that out, because this is going to be our third year doing it, and it's been growing. I mean, it was like so full last year, so you got to get on that right away. And I'm just going to scroll the camera up if you're done looking, and then I can say goodbye to everyone. Did you guys have fun? I mean, my hands are like sticky right now. For Art Venture, someone's asking who the teachers are. We have revealed 4 of them. But I'm not really sure when they're revealing the rest. They're kind of trying to keep you in suspense, I think. Okay, I do want to tell you, this was the Seashore collection. Brand new mid-release by Prima with new release wood dolls, new release resins in a box, new release color bloom sprays. And Carrie is going to be using a ton of the mid-release too on Thursday night. She's going to be doing a layout with the Time Traveler's Memories collection, color bloom sprays, metals, and a ton of other stuff. So you want to come back Thursday night, 6:30 Pacific time. So I'm going to just stop record. I want to thank you guys for coming. I hope you learned a couple fun techniques, and I am hoping to put the full layout, and maybe I can get the desaturation tip up on my blog, okay?